Hey everyone! Welcome back to another video by me, the Yellow Ninja, and today we are going to be ranking every character from Poppy Playtime. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. If you don't know what Poppy Playtime is, it is a very popular horror game featuring many different toys. And we're going to be ranking those toys. Let's start with the first characters we get introduced in Chapter 1 is Boogiebot. Now, he doesn't really do much. We only just see him dead on the floor. Yeah, not fun. But he's really cute looking. I don't know if cute is good for a horror game, but I think he deserves to be in B. Next we have Catbee. Same kind of deal as Boogiebot, except I don't really care for Catbee. However, we are still going to put them in B as well. The next, we have Candy Cat, who appears in the first 2 chapters of the game. And I'm not really a big fan. He's cute, but not as unique as the other 2. So we're going to put him at C. And then after that, we have Brawn. Brawn is this really funny dinosaur guy who we see in chapters 1 and 2. So he is actually going to go in B as well. I do like him. I just wish he could do more. He mainly was used in that one puzzle for chapter 2, but that's about it. Then next, we have the main character, Poppy. And while she is very popular, and who the game is named after, we're still going to put her in A. Just because I think there's a lot of characters who are better than her. Also, S is reserved for top 10 only. So the person who is at the front of that row is my favorite character. Next up, we have Huggy Wuggy. Now, this guy is a classic character, so obviously he is going in S. I don't think I really need much explanation on that. He is just an awesome looking character. He's really creepy, too. He's like a really tall beast with long legs, and that chase in the vents was scary. Now moving on to chapter 2, we start off with Bunzo. I actually do like Bunzo a lot. However, I'm going to put him in behind Boogiebot, but in front of Catbee, just because I prefer Bunzo more, but not as much as Boogiebot. And the musical memory minigame was really fun. It was the first taste of it, and it was really good. Next, we have the Mini Huggies, and now, unfortunately, this is our first characters in D. I do not really care for them. They are just smaller, worse versions of Huggy Wuggy. So, and they don't really do much either. They just pop out events and during the Whack-A-Wuggy, and then that's about it. They don't do anything else. Next, we have PJ Pug-A-Pillar. And I actually do like PJ. He's just really annoying in statues. But his character design, he's kind of cute but also terrifying at the same time. And it's really, really cool. You can tell that he is a toy, which is nice. Statues was my favorite of the 3 minigames, but it was also very difficult. Next, we have the main villain of the series, the Prototype. Now, this guy is awesome. I think he deserves to be S tier. We don't know what he looks like, who he was before, but all we know is that this guy is collecting body parts of the toys that we've killed. And that's really creepy, and just the fact that we only know this long, robotic, sharp hand makes it even scarier. Next, moving on to the main villain, of chapter 2 is Mommy Longlegs. I think she's a good villain. However, I'm still putting her in A, but I'm gonna put her in front. Whoa, lag. There we go. Sorry. In front of PJ, but behind Poppy. She is a decent villain. I like the fact that she's like one of those stretchy toys. It makes it really scary. But her chase scene, especially at the end where you have to like pull yourself up, is really challenging. Moving on to chapter 3, my personal favorite chapter, we have all of the smiling critters. Now, as you'll see later on in this tier list, I'm actually ranking Dog Day separately and Catnap, because they are more important than these other ones. Starting with Bubba Bubbathant. I think I'm going to put him at C. He's one of my least favorites of the smiling critters, but he's not the worst. We'll get to that later on. But next we also have Bobby. I prefer Bobby a lot more. We're gonna put Bobby in B. Ha 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 ha. B for Bobby. Not really much to say about most of the smiling critters. I do like their designs. I like how they all have like each like a necklace type thing for their like symbols. It's really cool. And next we have Crafty. I'm gonna put Crafty in D tier. I do not really care for her at all. She doesn't do anything, and she's like the painter of the group. Or is that Bobby? I cannot remember. But she's also just a unicorn, and that's not cool. Then we have Hoppy, and honestly, I'm putting Hoppy above Bobby. Actually, I'm gonna rearrange this. I'm gonna put Cat B there, and we're gonna put Hoppy there. Yeah, I like Hoppy more than Brawn and Cat B, but I like Cat. Actually, I'm gonna put Cat B at the lowest here, right there. Bobby is better than that. So, but Hoppy is kind of cool. I like the bunny. So her cardboard cutout talks about her trying to jump to the moon. So that's just really cool and fitting for her character. The next we have Kickin' Chicken. Now, say what you will about him, I like him a lot. I think he's my favorite of the smiling critters. Could also be because he's just yellow and I like yellow and chicken. But he's funny. He's like the athletic one in the group, I guess. And he has some funny moments. And now we have my least favorite of the smiling critters, Picky Piggy, who is easily going in D tier. I am not a fan of him at all. He's just annoying. And I don't like his cardboard cutout either. Next, we have Nightmare Huggy Wuggy. This guy is terrifying. And I actually am going to put him in S tier as well. Below the prototype, but above Poppy. He's terrifying. That guy is genuinely scary. Next, we have Kissy Missy. Sorry for the fact that this picture doesn't have a head. Kissy is going in A. Probably the last of the A tier, because she's just a reskin of Huggy and not nearly as cool or recognizable. But the fact that she's helpful is really nice. Next, we have Miss Delight. I hated that section. She was very frustrating and just honestly terrifying too. I hate when you have to like stand still or they only move when you're not looking. Like, that's just terrifying. But yeah. So I'm putting her in C tier. Then we have Dog Day. Now, Dog Day is another one of my favorite smiling critters. He's going in S tier. That guy also was really helpful to us until he got possessed by the ruined critters. but his design is really cool and creepy in that form. And his chase was very fun too. Tomorrow I will actually be posting a short about Poppy Playtime, so be prepared for that. Then next up, we have the main villain of Chapter 3, Catnap. Now, Catnap is my favorite character in the series. I don't really understand why. He's terrifying with his red smoke and his, how quick he is. That jump scare in the counseling office near the end of the game legit made me scream so loud. He's terrifying. And then he also has a nightmare form for the final boss fight. And oh my, he's so creepy. And he's genuinely my favorite character. Next, moving into Chapter 4, we have the Nightmare Critters. I'm not bothering putting each one individually because unlike the Smiling Critters, these guys don't have much of personal stuff, personalities or anything. But the Nightmare Critters as a whole, I'm honestly gonna put them at D. Now, I don't think they really did anything. None of the designs are super outstanding or unique. They're just really, really boring. And they are just complete reskins of the Smiling Critters with just how they move in the prison and stuff. Then next we have Yarnaby. Now, I don't really care for Chapter 4 at all, but Yarnaby, I love that guy. He's awesome. I'm actually gonna adjust this a bit. I'm actually gonna put Nightmare Huggy down there. I love Yarnaby. He's also pretty terrifying with how his face opens up in half. And it's really creepy. Then next we have Baba Chops. Baba is going in C. He's the only one, or he or she, I don't actually know, is the only nightmare critter that I kind of like, but his whole section was just really boring and annoying. And then we have the Doctor. Now the Doctor, I think, is really incredible. Not as cool as Yarnaby, but he's, I think, in my opinion, better than Nightmare Huggy. Now, who the Doctor is, Dr. Harley Sawyer, is a very important character to the franchise because he's the one who began the whole Bigger Bodies initiative. So, we actually getting to run into someone who used to work at the factory was really cool. And also, his design is just great. I love his, cloak going across the TV with the eye. So he's definitely going S tier. And now our last character is the main villain of Chapter 4, Doughy the Dough Man. And I'm going to put him in A. He's not my favorite character. He's definitely my least favorite of the main villains. And his, twist at the end wasn't really that cool. His boss fight was annoying and everything. It was also very buggy when the game first released. And overall, I'm just not a big fan of his character, so he's easily the worst main villain. And there you have it, everybody. This is a completed Poppy Playtime tier list. As a reminder, my favorite character is Catnap, the main villain of Chapter 3. If you all enjoyed this video, I would recommend you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!